Yes sir， 各位现场的诸位朋友，你们的声音在哪里 ？Come on， 燥起来喽！好了，我是 DJ 阿奇，跟着壮壮以及我们Formosa sexy 女孩们，还有吉祥物尤尼兽以及马吉熊。 也是我们的赞助商马吉斯轮胎的吉祥物马吉熊呢，一起来陪伴大家迎接这场的比赛。同时，下礼拜就是新年了哦，农历年，先祝大家新年快乐，胜利隆中来。全部都留在我们的主场，需要你们大声的加油应援。回到彰化的主场，借用你们的力量，听到你们大声加油以及敲打折扇的声音，守住主场的胜利。 准备好了吗？一样，先来帮我们气势呐喊一下，梦想家！梦想家！加油！梦想家！加油！我无所惧，我们不怕，把胜利留在我们的主场。需要你们持续的大声，跟着我们所有人一起来应援。谢谢女孩，谢谢马举雄，谢谢尤尼兽，谢谢壮壮。 好了，福摩沙梦想家，感谢各位球迷朋友热烈支持，也要谢谢大力支持台湾篮球支持梦想家的合作伙伴。好，首先花点时间来介绍以下的贵宾以及指导单位，把掌声送给我们的贵宾马吉斯轮胎国内营业部的廖正耀副总经理，来起身跟我们挥挥手，谢谢您的支持，谢谢。谢谢马吉斯轮胎行销计划部的苏伟翔经理，谢谢经理。 好，以及非常多的运动员的依靠，林营周林医师，谢谢您来帮我们加油。接下来谢谢以下的指导单位：教育部体育署、彰化县政府、台中市政府、台中市政府运动局以及中华民国篮球协会。谢谢大力支持梦想家的赞助伙伴海硕集团，值得您信赖的国际海空运物流公司。 心享科技全球货运代理整合性资讯平台 ，EVO6 电动车充电服务补电超轻松 ，Area 02亚洲指标球鞋与潮流交易平台，马吉斯轮胎世界10大轮胎公司源自彰化的台湾之光，奥迪中部后顺力汽车进化有感而生。谢谢联聚建设，好还要更好，联聚建设排序近60年的肉饼专家 ，TT 盐征服法国的台湾面膜，进发家祖传绿豆沙。 朝日堂台中聚餐名店日式烧肉锅煮鸳鸯锅，以及虎牌冰酿啤酒。谢谢美基农日本百年运动品牌以及云城资讯企业 IT 整合战术的好伙伴。谢谢曼达马莲最好穿的内衣，天天舒服穿。火火烧肉贩卖所，你用烧肉定义美味，我用美味定义烧肉。风格美学诊所 YCM 全球 AI 科技防霉领导者。 多喝水，矿泉水第一领导品牌以及秀传医疗体系引领国际医疗专业。再次把掌声送给以上所有的赞助商，以及所有来到现场帮我们加油的所有朋友们，感谢你们对球队的支持，感谢持续目光锁定场中精彩的开场表演来喽！性感火辣的Formosa sexy，Let's go girl yeah！
早上人还在香港，还在九龙场观河泡汤，怎么弹琴一下在西安，我在红春河的堤岸，站在古老神秘的长城，月光摇摇晃，我用英语跟小贩交谈，突然画面一下就全难，我还在想到底身在何方，和别模样。 是个花衣姑娘，开始想认真细心装扮，回来场终于轮我上场，说话
在哪里？谢谢女孩们 ，Thank you Formosa sexy， 精彩的开场表演。正式欢迎客队新北国王球员。新北国王2号苏培凯，3号陈俊南，10号简佑哲，11号王国志，24号洪志善，特定队33号安妮奎，49号翟正浩，72号林立人。先发1号林书伟，4号李维廷 ，Number 14 10号 Tony Michelle，17号苏世轩 ，55 号 Kenny Manigo 满尼高，新美国王总教练 Coach Ryan，Assistant Coach 助理教练 Coach Mark， 以及助理教练林振宇，总经理毛嘉恩。福尔摩沙梦想家秉持铁血的斗志，打造强悍的战场。梦想家人们，我们汇聚能量，携手一同并肩作战。我们不怕，持续再战，所有挑战我无所惧。Come on, let's welcome 福尔摩沙 Dreamer。
恐惧来自对未来的不确定，可能会失误。受伤会不能上失误，怕自己受伤会不能上场，怕努力不被看见，怕状况不好，怕输。但这些其实都发生过了，我们才知道这些曾经的恐惧兑现后，就不再是恐惧。这些都会变成来自过去的助攻。现在，我们将朝着目标，把这些助攻一球一球投出去。
面对未来的挑战，我无所惧。我们坚持不懈，成为更好的自己，与在座的每位家人携手拿下胜利。我无所惧，我们可以 ，Let's go Dreamer！ Number 0 0号梦想家的板凳暴徒陈晨勋 ，Number 3 3号后场指挥官梦想推进器老吴家勋 ，Number 4 4号来自爱荷华大学的全能大手 David Momo。Lucky 7 7号体能劲爆的活动篮板半兽人林耀宗 ，Number 10 10号可写可留的侧翼新血梦想探花000冠浩。Number 21 21号台湾篮坛的传奇射手美梦狙击手刀哥钱浩。Number 24 24号体能劲爆攻守兼备西藏航空辛沃克。Number 13 30号出手就准备命中3分代名词吴松伟。 咱们 ATA 88号禁区铁迷梦想护盾朱国成。And now starting five. 南北传领队23号攻守兼备的梦想元老，台湾尾的钱克力。南北5号来自纽约的前任得分手 Chris Micaro。来自威斯康星地图防守兵器 Dirty Four 34号火锅制造机 Brandon Gobert。传联 A 28号梦想家后场魔术师全能射手卢冠良。南北11 7号赛德克狙击手 Ladies and Gentlemen 标速跑车吕曲奇。我们是梦想家总教练 Head Coach Jimmy Peelman， 助理教练陈世典、赖柏林，球员发展总监田磊，总经理韩俊凯，双方球员场中握手。
Welcome everybody onto the broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, your Plus League English play-by-play. As heading into week 13 of the season, the Kings have now won 4 straight games in the Plus League, while the Dreamers have now lost 5 straight. The Braves, thanks to Beast's week's MVP performance, have jumped up to 3rd. They continue their homestand this weekend in the 5 p.m. slot, while the Pilots and Lioneers on the schedule for tomorrow, and the Steelers will play the Braves tonight. On the Mandarin broadcast, on the left is Xiaohu Hu Junqi, and on the right is the play-by-play Eddie 张耀宗。球迷朋友们找到了官方的英文转播了，要听小胡跟耀宗的讲评，当然就按到中文的转播连接。谢谢你收看，记得 Plus D 的转播都要按赞。So funny enough, it is the second time the Kings are coming off of a East Asia Super League road game and playing the Dreamers in Changhua on a Saturday. Just a funny coincidence of how the schedule shook out. And so indeed, the Dreamers uniforms are red, and the cheerleaders are in a special Lunar New Year's festive outfit, hoping to change their fortunes, as in their losing streak, free throw shooting has been a big issue for the Dreamers. They're on screen 54 makes to 105 attempts, only about 50%, meaning the Dreamers have been ceding almost 10 points per game, and any 1 point can be a big swing, but 10 points per game is quite a dramatic difference in the ball game. In particular for the Dreamers, for example, on their Wednesday night game, Aji missed 2 free throws and Hayden missed 1 in the 4th quarter in a game that went to overtime. Pre-game, we caught up with Dreamers veteran Doug Jianhao, and for the Kings, it's Joseph Lin.
就只能多练啦，我觉得投篮这种东西就是要多练，然后给自己信心嘛。然后在场上的时候就不要想太多，就 miss 1-2颗 你就回想到你之前就是练球的状态，去怎么去把球投进，对吧？就是我觉得这是一个心态，就不要想那么多，对吧？我觉得可能上场时间提升是因为我们最近还蛮多伤势，然后也有新的老外 Marble 来的时候，我觉得可能需要多一点配合，然后因为毕竟我也是球队的比较资深的球员，可以就是分享一些东西给他，让他比较快适应台湾的球风。那主要是我们像 Randy 跟小杰都有伤在，所以可能我上场时间会拉伤。那他们慢慢回来的时候，我相信我上场时间不会有那么多啦，对吧？也是好事啊。因为我打那么多，应该对我身体来讲也不是好事，对吧？
Jan Hall's first answer was about the free throw shooting. He says the important thing is to build your confidence in your practices. And when you're out on the floor standing at the line, it's to not think too much and maybe stay positive. And as for his own personal playing time, increasing to nearly 30 minutes per game, saying that between the injuries to Randall Walco and Chen Zhenjie, he's had to play a little bit more, and especially to help get new import Devin Marble into the mix and help that import get more acclimated. His presence on the floor has been needed recently, though he does want to see that get back down a little bit more. On the other side, before we get to Joseph Lin's interview, he's seen quite an increase in playing time and production out on the floor. A couple weeks ago, 18 points and 7 assists, and previously also nearly averaging a triple-double. And the Kings have also been dealing with a lot of injuries to their side, and there'll be another big test today without several guys, including their team captain Ling Jingbang, out with basically a bruised rear end. But he's also a veteran who's accumulated a lot of mileage on the body, so understandably the Kings seeing more rotational rest.
I think, playing in East Asia League, you play against, these are top teams in other countries. So the play style is definitely very, very different. Imports are also very different. I think 他们上身体很多. So I think that's I mean, P.LEAGUE does too, but I think in East Asia League, you might be able to get away with more. I think that might be the biggest difference. We're not particularly high, we're not particularly low. I guess it makes sense. We recently lost 2 in a row and then recently also won 4 in a row. So I think just being in the middle is about where we should be. I think I'm just doing what I think I'm supposed to, whatever I can to help the team win. It's not just Jeremy that's been out. Cayenne's been out. Today, Amigo's out. So I just got to find ways to contribute to the team and to help the team win. Most important is to get wins. So whatever we can to scrape out wins, that's what we're going to try to do.
So the Dreamers last played on Wednesday night against the Braves, just like the Kings, but in Seoul. And it was their second game of 2-game series against the Braves in Heping, which they played last Saturday night as well. But unlike the first game, the Dreamers got out to an early lead, as much as 13 points with 10 minutes left in the third. But the two most experienced Braves in Chris Johnson and Ling Zijie put the team on their backs, combining for 58 points, including sending the game to overtime. And while Chris Johnson kept the Braves afloat, Beast deep three with 25 seconds left sealed the game. Meanwhile, the Dreamers had 35 from Chris McCullough, 27 from Aji, and Ryan Lu Guanliang had another good scoring game with 17, but 10 turnovers in the fourth quarter in OT really did them in. Meanwhile, on the Kings side, they've been faring much better domestically, but their lingering concern is the fatigue on the squad, with 3 straight East Asia Super League road games, 4 in all in the month of January. Let's get to the starting lineups for the respective teams. Number 17, Su Sixuan will be starting along with Joe. Number 4, Li Wei Ting will get a second start, along with Tony Mitchell and Kenny Manigault. And quickly on to the Dreamers, Brandon Gilbert, Chris McCullough, Aji, Ling Junji, Kenny Chen, and Ryan Lu Guanliang. Trying to catch up here. The officials, number 11, Wang Licang, number 45, Chen Hongming, and Peng Sixuan, as Tony Mitchell wanting to perhaps catch some of that New Year's good luck visiting the Dreamers bench. The Kings are faring a little bit better domestically, as mentioned, but Byron Mullins, Jeremy Lin, and then Yang Jimmy actually taking a rotational game out, having played on Wednesday. But concerning the two former dealing with plantar fasciitis, which is basically a foot pain caused from nerve damage or nerve discomfort. So it's just a pain tolerance thing. It also means you're out of a lot of practice. They've been resilient so far after their roadie versus Manila's Morocco Bolts. They lost to the Dreamers here, but after a road win versus Ryukyu, they defeated the Lioneers in just 2 nights. Then they lost to the Golden Kings in Okinawa, but then they took on the Steelers back-to-back for a victory. Let's see how they fare after a pretty thorough beating by the SK Knights. And again, they are quite short-handed. They don't even have 14 for the active roster. After a ceremonial tip by today's sponsor in Max's Tires, we're just about ready to go. Dreamers once again in red. They're attacking the basket on your right. The Kings in white will try to be going left, as we'll be inbounding from the sideline. No time off the clock. For the fans watching Plus League, following along for a number of years, the team do not have the title sponsor, but keeping with that red alternative jersey, Kenny Manigault, a flip layup. Good way to get it reintroduced. He last played on January 21st at home versus the Steelers. So it's 14 days off for Kenny Manigault, as he's missed the last 2 East Asia Super League games as well. Missed by McCullough as the Dreamers get a second chance. Lu Guanliang to Aji. He'll try for 3. And another second opportunity as Kenny pokes it out. Flip to Gilbeck. He avoids. No, but the and one coming up. So there you see Kenny in the right spot. That's kind of actually where you want to be as a wing offensive player. Kind of run toward the middle of the floor, and you're kind of on your way back for help defense. And if you get a ball bouncing your way, you can either grab it yourself or tip it to a teammate, and Aji to Gilbeck to finish the deal. Now Li Weiting, number 4, starting the second time in his Plus League career. Had 8 points all in the first quarter as the Dreamers turned it over, but Aji would want this early replay. Indeed, head coach Jamie Perlman will get the signal off, and they will review it. So far on the season, these two teams have played each other 4 times. As you get a look at, Su Sixuan was in the mix on this handoff. He put his hand on, but it did tip off the fingertips of Ling Junji. The crew chief actually, you could say, was stacked to the play. So Aji's back was toward him and had the ball in front. So we needed some help on that call. And the challenge will be successful. So the Dreamers can challenge once more in the game, shall they choose. Now don't forget, if they are unsuccessful, it will cost them a team timeout. McCullough driving right. Now working to a jumper. That's off as Gilbeck will get a putback. So that's now consecutive second chance scores for the Dreamers. Li Wei-ting feeling himself. Too much mustard on that one. Now Gilbeck with 2 feet in the paint rises and fires for a miss, but Aji's in the right spot. As the Dreamers rotated around, Kenny Chen's going to be given lots of space. Now a jump pass to Lu Guanliang, an interesting spot, but miss high off the glass. Kenny Manigault, a hook pass to Joe. The two of them played together last time they were here. As Manigault flips it up for a miss, Gilbeck enough of a contest along with his teammates. Now McCullough again on James. The flip shot is no good. As there's a foul in transition. To get a look at Gilbeck finding an advantageous position underneath the hoop. As coaches will always say, you got to do your work early to keep good rebounders, certainly tall rebounders, out. As Manigault will swish a 3. And that'll even up the score at 5 apiece. Aji's got to step on Li Wei-ting, creating space, and an easy knockdown for number 11. A quick counter by the Kings, as that's going to be a miss. Aji in the last game had 18 points on only 2 of 10 3-point shooting against the Braves. Again, it's McCullough, but iced on Manigault, so they pass it out as Kenny is blocked at the rim. Pretty good defense by Joe, but Mitchell ensured it'd be much harder as McCullough gets a counter block. Quickly down the other side, they leave Lu Guanliang open. Too strong. The Dreamers do split their home games between 2 arenas. Here at Zonghua County Stadium, they also play in Taichung Intercontinental Basketball Stadium, a much smaller venue. Aji working to the free throw line, and another one. Aji's not seen a lot of his floater game, but his jump shot has been good as a flip up for Tony Mitchell. A little AST for Joseph Lin. Some quick offense there. Another Gilbeck screen for Aji, kicking it to Kenny. Open look, no good. Need a little bit more help as Gilbeck will jump into the picture. I think it'll be Kings basketball. Here is the drop coverage by the Kings, and Aji making them pay for it, and then Joseph Lin pretty much running past the basket as he's flipping it backwards. Last substitution as Randall Walco's in action. A drain 3-pointer. That Li Wei-ting. His first ever career start was the last game against the Steelers, and made good with it as Gilbeck can't collect. Dreamers denied this fast break opportunity as a foul on the sideline. Marble will check in for Gilbeck as Dreamers going a little smaller. McCullough at center. Randall Walco playing Su Sishin on this one-on-one matchup. Joe working in the mid-range, flipping it up to Mitchell. That was another clean look. 1-14. if we're using some baseball scoring. A screen as Aji will get the right-handed layup, and the Dreamers doing a great job keeping pace. Manny Galt going to the reverse. Can't quite, as the Dreamers, little friendly fire on the rebounding opportunity. We'll head to our first break of the game. A lot of rapid action in this one. Kings Dreamers from Changhua.
邀请现场的梦想家人参与我们的中场时间 halftime， 我们的马吉斯晋级大挑战，还可以获得由马吉斯轮胎提供的惊喜好礼。有没有梦想家人想跟我们一起大晋级？好，我手上的小球要丢到这边。2楼的观众朋友们，2楼的梦想家人们，让我看到你们的手好不好？谁想要一起玩游戏的？ 我们2楼的梦想家人们，今天蛮踊跃的哦。好，等等，接到2颗小球的梦想家人，在我们第2节倒数5分钟的时候，在1楼的出入口找寻我们的工作人员。
Like the stream for a little New Year's good luck. We're at the original home of the Formosa Dreamers here in Changhua County Stadium, renovated. It took a couple years, but we are back. So if you come into the building, the seats at the upper levels renovated. Also had the stairwells and concourse painted blue. And down here on the floor, brand new hardwood and renovations to the restrooms. All are good, appreciative touches for all of us who come in attendance. And the Dreamers actually built a league-tying 10-game winning streak by defeating the Kings last time they played each other here. Ling Liren fresh in the game, coming in with Christian Anigwe. As a double team on Joe, denied him the pass to an open teammate as a travel call in the paint. Might get a little bit too athletic there, Joe. That's how this broadcaster will spin it. Meanwhile, on the Dreamer side, they're bringing in number 8, E8, Zhou Chen, a local big, as Walko pops free. His try is good. Randall Walko took a few games off, but returned on Wednesday for a little bit of action. At least was registered, as Anigwe looking for a handoff option. Gained the slip, Marvel recovering. Running out of time, Big Sushi will try and airballs it. Getting a little assist from one of our assistant cameramen. See Aji. Walko putting his hand down now to Hayden. Running shot will roll. There's 22 points per game. Back pass as Shelley's got a short corner jumper. That one's in and out. Hayden got around Manigal, will flip it up, trying to get some contact on the play. Zhou Chen will give the Dreamers another second chance. Walko made one earlier and knocks down another one. His return after a while actually was 0 for 3 on Wednesday, but Looks like he's already getting into the flow of things. Xiaoli missing another jump shot. So the Dreamers now up with a 19-12 lead as Walko trying to take Joe physically and gets the bucket. Not much the Kings can do here as the buzzer in the arena, quite low volume, finally gets the attention of the refs as 4 minutes left in the first quarter. The Dreamers, that is a 9-0 run. Gonna look at Walko's exploits in this frame. That last one, just a little bit too much for Joseph Lin, who played decent defense there. There you see a perfect 3 for 3 shooting. Walko so far on the season returning from injury. He's averaging about 9.5 points per game played. Trying to work his way up to that second season where he and Kenny Chen were averaging 11 points per game, which is a huge boost. But the dynamics are changing, and Aji is now their #1 local, but he's right now trying to find some other scoring punches on the squad. Fairly certain Coach Perlman's got to be happy with the way the squad has been playing defense since that first time out. The Dreamers defense is the only team in the Plus League to allow the Kings less than 100 points per game. But of course, the last time they played each other in Xinzhuang, the Kings were able to pour in 114. So that'll kind of augment the averages as former Dreamer Wang Bozi, or Tank, is on the block there. Intercepted pass as Hayden looking to find Gilbeck on the break. Now other side Walko. Got the Kings scrambling. Dobleton will try a deep one. That's clanked. Pretty smart rotations by the Kings as Anigwe will try to answer. That one's halfway down and out. Marble picked as Manigault, little 2-on-2, Xiaoli. First bucket for number 72. Had a career high against his former team in the Lioneers on that Friday night game. The Kings really needed it. As mentioned, they've been dealing with plenty of games playing shorthanded. Marble with a Christian in front of him, got him in the air, and we'll get a whistle out of the play. Has been proving to be a pretty good mid-range scorer. I have noticed that he doesn't like to really finish driving on the left side or using his left hand. So when he's going left, I want to look out for that pull-up jump shot or that pump fake. At the line, first one good. Today coming off the bench in the Plus League, 3 import players on the active roster, 2 on the floor at all times. Marble in and out as Gilbeck put it on target, but no basket as Tank knocks over Wu Jiatring in the corner. Tank trying to say it's a flop, but that's a lot of weight going that direction. There's not no contact, that's for sure. One of the storylines from the Kings-Steelers game last time was Tank was a former Steeler, and him and his good bud Femi Olujobi had some social media exchange. As Dowoten, that one was closer. Xiaoli from the right corner this time. A little bit more confidence. Marble with an Igwe on him again. Takes the slip. Now doubled on the floor. Avoiding the jump ball, but now a 5-second held ball, it seems. It's a turnover. That time the Kings swarmed him instead of switching. Get another look at that right foot taking the spill, but I think you can give him credit for staying away from the tie-up, though. In doing so, might have flipped around a few too many times. Tank handoff with Xiaoli, who immediately fires away. He's been quite trigger happy on the game. I believe that is already 5 shot attempts for Ling Lirud. Screen by Hayden, then he puts up the shot off the glass and in. Fresh in the game, Tundrunan puts it up, but it'll dance off the hoop. Third-year Tundrunan is supposed to be the next Yang Jingming, at least in terms of how much he's interacted with Yang Jingming, more veteran teammate as Walko misses off glass. Now a second chance, no good, but a whistle as he was ran into or bumped into on the shot. Get a look at Hayden, fake pass, and yeah, there was contact on the offhand, but that's the offhand. And over here, as again, Tank running into him, but thankfully his feet didn't get tied up. As a perfect stroke from the free throw line. Randall Walko, number 24, just turned 25 last September. Was actually on the Dreamer squad in their inaugural year in the Plus League. As basically a rookie. Tank fake handoff, now spinning around, but putting a little bit too much on the shot. Quickly the other way, Hayden picked up his dribble a beat too early, but Marble will get a try. And a minute left to go. The Kings only have 15 on the scoreboard. Igwe screen for Eventi as Tank will get a catch and shoot. That's off. Walko, no one ahead, so he'll put his head down and miss the layup, but Dowoten picks up his teammate. That'll extend it to a 13-point lead. Xiaoli will try another one, and that one is going to be a short. Getting a look at Jerry using the right-handed tip. A little bit of last possession defense, offensive subs as actually both teams bring in shooters. It's Jiahao, number 21 for the Dreamers, and number 10, Jayotza, or JJ. Don't forget, Aji's going to be trying to look for some space. Marble, with Tundrunan guarding him. As Doug steps up to the screen, no, they switch. Now Gilbeck. Out to Walko, he's got a look, and bottoms the tray. That makes it a 31-15 opening quarter as the Dreamers look to end their losing streak and halt the Kings in their winning streak. So action here in game 51 is underway here from Changhua.
准备来发礼物给大家喽！
好，现在我们要来跟拥挤秀玩疯狂黑白菜。好，来了，赢的给我的跑得快上来，黑白菜，来这里再配黑白，再是黑白菜，来这里再配黑白菜，来这里再配。好，好，好给，好，我们来恭喜这位小朋友可以获得我们把大家记得跑得快套餐。
谢谢我们的马吉生，谢谢。
好，有拿到小球的观众朋友，再记得到我们美食区去兑换哦。
是的，记得有我们很好吃的炸鸡，赶紧去兑换，谢谢。
A nice aerial view of the Zhanghua County Stadium. If you missed it in the opening segment, as our producer's giving us a replay of the Maxis mascot showing up the unicorn on his own turf. Now, I was on the floor previously as the Dreamers are set to inbound. Lu Guanliang got the start of the game, now starting the second quarter. He's heating up too, so something the Kings probably have identifying in their defensive scouting report. Early foul on the perimeter. Player coach Hong Zhisan. We kind of learned that he was the in charge of scouting the Ryukyu Golden Kings, the East Asia Super League Japanese opponent of the Kings, as Aji maneuvers his way all the way across court for another mid to short range jumper. JJ slips it to Inigue as that pass is bounced off a Dreamer. There's see Lin Junji keeping that dribble alive and avoiding the help just to find more space. Chen Junan, a big runner. Marvel shakes Junan, then kick out to Doug, an open look, knocks it down. As mentioned, Jin Hall's been seeing his workload go up, but now that Walko, Lu Guanliang are in the mix, now we're just kind of left waiting for number 0 Chen Zhenjie. JJ getting into the paint. That's something the Kings didn't really do besides Kenny Manigault. As there's a railed three by number 10 Jin Yota. Member of the inaugural King squad 3 years ago. The Marble tries to dump it off, but wasn't aware that the pass was batted away. Venti trying to flip it up, does get the whistle, and a circus shot. It looked like he might have took a little ding on the way down. I don't even want to get another look at that one. I didn't think it had a chance. There you see, he felt the pressure on his back. That one might have danced above the backboard. As you get another look, that right foot comes down kind of awkwardly. Could be a lot of things going on there. There you see the slight bump and the early flip, even avoiding Gilbeck's reach. You'll get to see it on the replay as Tony Mitchell has immediately pulled Venti off to the side. So as heartwarming as that is, it's not really a good feeling for the Kings, who are, as mentioned, already dealing with injuries. Perhaps rotationally, Joseph Lin will take his spot and try to finish off this three-point play. And Joseph Lin will roll out that free throw. Trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time, but it's a double screen for Aji. Now back pass to McCullough as the Kings do a good job forcing it out of his hands. Now with time running low, a good defensive possession for the Kings, but another offensive rebound. They allowed 9 to the Dreamers in the first quarter. McCullough on the catch and shoot, clanks it as Gilbeck, staying with the fight, gets another one. Mismatch down low. McCullough dropped the ball. I don't know if it's on his own volition or it's Kenny Manigault with the extendo arms. Now in transition, Joe off the mark. Now Aji fouled from Joseph Lin. Trying to stick with him. It might have been on the body. Right now, Kings playing on the back foot. This time Aji maneuvering to the left side, and I will say Joe probably doesn't feel too good to get that side kick. Not intentional, but I think reasonably you would say that that's not exactly the defender's fault, but it definitely looked like some contact in other spots. Here's Ling Junji's line, already 9 points and 3 rebounds. Had a 27 on Wednesday night, including 8 assists, but crucially missed free throws and those turnovers. I mean, I bring it up because he is the Dreamers local now, as Kenny Chen strips it from Joe, as Aji having to jump to save it. No change of possession as Manigault initially going for the pass, then the shot as Mitchell will put it on target. Let's see if they count it. I was blind to the lead official. They will count it in a pretty dramatic change of things. There you see what I'm talking about. Kenny Manigault initially thought pass, then had to adjust to the shot, and then Mitchell actually followed through with that putback attempt like a normal shot. I thought it would be more of a tip. Anyways, too many words from this broadcaster. Shot fake to a drive as Aji puts it up and in. So starting to attack at all 3 levels. The lead is now 17 as the ball bouncing off of Kenny Chen out of bounds. I'm looking over at the Kings bench, and Venti is at least on his feet, but there's some discomfort with his feet over there. That's in the corner behind the Kings bench, you see. Manigault screened by Mitchell as he missed, but Mitchell, another putback attempt. Keeping this game reasonably within range for the Kings. Flipping it up as Gilbeck wasn't quite in position. Now it's Joseph going backdoor, but the ball taking a back ricochet as the Dreamers will now push it up ahead. As Gilbeck had that one stripped, he'll go out of bounds and stay with the Dreamers. Substitutions for the Dreamers. Remember, they're playing on a back-to-back today and tomorrow, and the Kings not that fresh themselves. They last played Wednesday and had to travel. And these international flights are not easy. McCullough with some space. Was something close? No. As Manigault's fouled. Fresh in the game, I think it's Devin Marble. Manigault at the line when we last saw him had 19 points. And the Saturday, the back-to-back the day before, had 19 points too, but 18 rebounds versus the Dreamers. Six points, 2 rebounds so far in his game at the bottom of the score bug. This game produced by our partners at Formosa Television, and the evening game will be Momo Television. Being that it is basketball season, Formosa is also taking care of the high school competition as well. Walco catching it way up high, guarded by JJ, screened by McCullough, the switch. A little hammer action, but he steps out of bounds, according to our official Richard. Five-out offense for the Kings as Manigault back screens for Joe. Now working with Mitchell as he's tripped up and fouled. They're going to say it's on Wotan, I think. I want to get another look at that one, because Manigault definitely looked more tripped up than he was held, but that was the hand signal, something up high. Manigault will bounce in that free throw. Coming into this afternoon's action, a 71% free throw shooter. Even that one short as Joe, look what I found. But a little bit too much length by McCullough will force a miss at the hoop. Right now the Dreamers lead is 12 as Walco to Hayden. They'll try a deep shot. Right now 3-on-3 as Manigault had that one stripped, but they're going to say off of Manigault, so it is clean and off perhaps the leg of number 55. Dreamers call timeout with 6:37 left on the clock. We'll get back to you after the following messages.
到我们马吉斯的官方社群，按赞追踪，并且在这则贴文的下方留言回答我接下来的问题，就有机会获得由马吉斯提供的品牌精美礼物。好，问题来了，本场比赛首位投进3分球的梦想家球员是谁？好，再重复一次，本场比赛首位投进3分球的梦想家球员是谁？好，这一场比赛第一球3分球是由哪一位梦想家球员投进的呢？赶快拿起你的手机，扫描 QR code， 按赞追踪并留下。
We need 5,000 more subscribers to get to 300,000. Get a few different angles of Randy Walco's exploits from the first half of this ball game. So far, he is the leading scorer of the contest with 13 points. Also, don't forget to throw in the 4 rebounds as well. He's back in action as the Kings show a little bit of full court pressure. Kings have a little bit of a zone look now as Marble drives baseline, puts it up and in. As it looks like we might have something with the clock. Indeed, when we got to our timeout, it was 6:37, and it right now only shows 6:34. So either the hardware has an issue or the scorer's table didn't activate correctly. Now, being that their offense seemed normal to me, this is a situation where the referees in the scorer's table have to communicate on the fix here. I think the score should count just as is, as the Kings definitely from their bench had an argument that maybe it shouldn't have counted, but given that the Dreamers didn't lollygag, so to speak, for 20 going on 30 seconds, it's not really a situation with a shot clock was a major issue. So plenty of Dreamer staff over there also working on the situation as well. It looks like they have a full scoreboard reset as they reset the clock to 12 minutes and they had to re-add up the score. So the Dreamers still around Coach Perlman in their huddle, but on the Kings side, it's Manny Galt, Mitchell, Sushi, JJ, and Joe out on the floor. Kind of in a pentagon shape, unplanned. And so I guess we will have an interesting situation where they won't count the basket and give the ball to the Dreamers, so I guess I was wrong. Well, operationally, the Dreamers run the stadium, and like all Plus League games, the home team is responsible for the hardware. So same defensive formation as Kings in a 2-3 zone, but now misshapen as Hayden will get a jump shot in. This time they use a different offensive strategy. Manigal trying to squeeze for space as JJ gets a corner shot. Nice tip by Sushi as the Kings will get another chance. And Manigal athletic, no good, as James' second and third opportunity finally come away with two. So whenever there's a hardware issue and the home team is disadvantaged, well, you can only blame themselves as McCullough turned around Jay. Manigal spin move to help side defender. Ball out of bounds, but the crew chief says there was a foul. Get another look at taking advantage of the weak side defender, a simple ball screen. And over here, Susushin finishing up things down low. So Manigal at the line again. Primarily him and then Joe are the real threatening penetrators for the Kings squad without Lee Kai-yin and certainly without the skill of Yang Jingming. A couple of made free throws will let Doug check back into the game. Dangerous inbound as a Marble stays inbounds, colliding with a Walko there. Kenny blocked as looked like he took one to the nose. He's slow to get up to help out his team as numbers for the Kings as a air ball by Su Shen was nearing a 50% three-point shooter, but could have fooled me there. Kenny trying to shake off that hit to the face. He's in the game as a foul before Marble can put on his move. There's some very athletic guys out there. The referees need to do better to keep up as JJ gets subbed by Waiting. Marble now dribbling left, putting it up despite the bump. Quick deep positioning from Mitchell, and good power there. Chen Hall might be 200 centimeters, but I don't think he has the physical presence that Mitchell has down low. Little handoff game as Walko got a step and a dead-eye shooter. Look out. Extending the lead back to double digits as Manigault hook past to Li Wei-Ting, and that's a good answer for the Kings. Now Marble picked up the dribble as a big skip pass to Kenny. Trying to back down Joe. Going middle and leaving it short. Got his own board. And the flip pass, a good idea, but somebody was in the way. McCullough, the intended target. Manigault taking the bump and finishing it anyways over Marble. Probably going to get a flop warning from that one. McCullough in a two-man game with Doug. No. Some 5 out from the Dreamers on this side as Marble keeps it high but misses. Less than 3 minutes to go in the half. Joe fakes the defender off and an easy swish. A great change of directions. Now Kenny will trying to find that stroke from season 2 where he's near a 50% three-point shooter. As Manigault stop, finds Li Wei-Ting. He'll try the mid-range. No. Coach Marchand for the Kings have been sticking with this starting group for quite a while now. Walko over to Kenny, but there's a switch. Out to Marble. He's got a jump shot and gets it to go. Manigault with power this time. Finishes with the right-handed finger roll. So not even giving a chance for me to breathe. Kings and Dreamers have doing a great job with what Kyle Julius used to call attack backs. Maybe he still calls them that, but the former Dreamers head coach. Kenny, the third time, not a charm. Flipping it up as Mitchell putting it in. And with 80 seconds left, the Dreamers electing to call a timeout with their lead shrunk to 4. Now remember, this stretch has been going on Without Brandon Gilbeck or Aji out there for the team, as Kenny Manigault has really been the driving force for the Kings in this sequence. And then you throw in a beautifully executed misdirection by Joe. And there you see Marble is speed-wise maybe keeping up, but when Manigault goes to his bag of misdirections or his Euro step with power, been a little bit too much. There you see try to go for the steal, and instead of walling up. So this is the second Dreamers timeout of the half. The Kings still have theirs. Shall they elect to use it? There you see the quarter scoring 29-17. A flip from the first quarter. So far in the second quarter, the Dreamers have committed 6 turnovers, have not had that much success scoring from 2-point range. Points in the paint is something I found in my preparation to be a pretty big difference. The Dreamers' defense in their winning streak, only 33 points allowed in the paint. In their recent losing streak, 45. But their offensive splits, just like the Kings, are the biggest splits in the league. Gilbeck and Aji in. Right now, both off ball as Marble's trying to attack Kenny Manigault. Got him shook, but missing the J as Mitchell will come down with the board. Tank on the flare screen, hands off with Joe. Kicking it to Mitchell, he'll get a jump shot. That's off the mark. Waiting, tripped up by the screen. 2 players go down, so a net neutral result as Walco, big 3 on the way. And Tank couldn't secure the rebound as the Dreamers can't ice the clock, but will get themselves another possession. A foul from behind as looks like we have a really slick floor out there. There you see Marble. Again, forced to go left, but he's finding his space. "13 seconds left. It is not a penalty situation, so in effect, a last possession. Guarded by Kenny, but in a little bit of trouble. Tank on the switch, trying to keep pace. Dump off as blocked by Mitchell, and the time will expire. A good last stand for the new Taipei Kings. They were down big early against the Dreamers, but have closed the gap. We'll head to halftime, where the final homestand of the Dreamers' first half is on hand. We'll be back after this.
2位幸运的梦想家人等等，在中场结束之前，可以到场中来进行我们的梦想购梦想高尔夫。
是的，
这机会可以把10万元带回家哦。
又是为了10万块，希望这是10万块有幸运得主，梦想家人可以把10万给带回家。
好，我们先抽出第一位。哇，这个姓名没有看懂，完蛋。
没关系，我们问他讲他的位置。
好
，2楼红衣区 F13排5号。
好，2楼红衣区 F13排5号。手机末3码808。
808有没有在现场？
哦，后面2楼红衣区 F13排5号。 莫三马。
哪里吗？跟我们挥手的那个吗？是吗？再挥一次
808有吗？
是吗？有吗？有的话再跟我们挥手一次。
有的话可以把手举高，让我们看一下吗？
是那边吗？叫第3次没有就放弃喽。
好。
他说是不是那个？是那一位吗？是吗？好，那下来，赶紧下来，恭喜你有可能10万块的机会。
好，那抽出第2位。好，第2位在我们2楼黄4区13排10号。2楼黄4区13排10号。有在吗？在的话，听到的话，手帮我举一下。
有吗？黄4区的朋友，有没有人在？有机会得10万块的朋友在哪里？请他挥手，挥3次，没有的话就要放弃啦。是那位穿白色衣服的吗？是吗？是的话，举手我看一下。
2楼黄4区13排10号。
有吗？不是他。不是的话，最后喊一次哦。
好，我们要从下一位了。好，哇，是帅哥来的，叫陈柏霖。
哦，柏霖。
陈柏霖，莫三马861，蓝2区11排1号。
蓝2区11排。柏霖。
It's halftime here from Zhanghua County Stadium, home of the Formosa Dreamers. So before we get into our halftime analysis, the last East Asia Super League regular season game is the Braves hosting Anyang next Wednesday at February 7th, right before we break for the Lunar New Year's. Xiao Hu and Yao Zong on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, taking care of you guys here on the English side of things. Thank you all for tuning in. Well, the first half was a tale of two very different quarters. In the first quarter of the game, the Dreamers had their way, led by Randall Walco's 13 points, but in the second quarter, the Kings really pushed up the defensive effort. In all, there's the combined team stats where the Dreamers have a big lead in the rebounding stat, the 4th row down. And the Dreamers, though, have turned the ball over just a few more times. So far in the game, Tony Mitchell and Kenny Manigault leading the King squad with 13 points apiece. Li Wei-Ting getting the start in this one with 6 points. And on the Dreamer side, as mentioned, Walco, 16, he leads their squad. Aji has really done his magic in the mid-range, followed by Brandon Gilbeck's 5, Hayden's got 4, and Devin Marble with 4. And as mentioned, the Kings in their shorthanded personnel situation, really looking for Manigault and Joseph Lin to create the opportunities, mainly with any penetration they can get. But on the Dreamer side, they have a lot of guys who can get on the inside. Well, with Aji being one of the most lethal. And when Joseph's in there, you definitely like to pair him with Tony Mitchell as a lob threat to punish double teams. And as mentioned, the defensive effort in the second quarter noticeably out of rotation, one due to injury, Venti, but then maybe a guy like Ling Lira, who was very aggressive with his shot in the first quarter, didn't see any action in the second quarter, so kind of a matter of trying his luck. But on the Dreamer side, they've also not had the easiest time overall in the game, despite having perhaps the size advantage. Brandon Gilbeck's only had 5 field goal attempts. And while Chris McCullough is a kind of a height matchup challenge for any defender out there, he's only shot 1 for 8 so far in the game. And Devin Marble has not really found his space either. He has been sent to the line for 1 for 2 and then made a 3, but the Dreamers need a lot more from their imports. We'll go to the second break.
往下，哦，来，那边
天开心，
哦，那边我们这边好像比较快一点哦。
新年快乐，有吗？
好，与现场5个穿梦想家衣服的人击掌，梦想家衣服的击掌，找梦想家，来了5个，1个，5个。2个，
兽王海带拳，直到获胜，用力，
5个，好，
到石头布，1、2、3，海带，好，赢了，好，赶快去发球线，
往前，继续出发，好，教会了，我那边，同学，你这边的你的轮胎没有记，与优尼兽王海带拳，直到获胜，剪刀石头布，好
红色衣服的梦想家人5个，
你要赢，
穿红色衣服的梦想家人。
海带，好，你赢了，往下。
只要梦想家衣服就可以，先改成传梦想家。
好，来了。
什么颜色都可以，5个就好。
好，5个梦想红包给梦想家人，并收到5个不同的吉祥话。
5个，好，回来最后一个。
5句。
来这里。走马吉熊，新年自拍3连拍。马吉熊这里。3连拍，来一个。
龙光万发可以。梦想家总冠军 OK。
赶快去发球线。
赶快到底线，赶快。轮胎到底线。好。
赶快拿球。
放着。
赶紧发球。
罚第1球。自投自抢哦。
加油！冷静。
罚球哦，两边都在罚球了。两边都在罚球。但是两边目前都还没有投进 ，OK， 抢旗帜，不要管球了。
可惜差一点点。
哇，战况非常的焦灼啊。
没关系，恭喜，谢谢。
好，恭喜我们的获胜者。恭喜我们的获胜者，球迷朋友可以获得我们马吉斯准备的品牌精美礼物。但是另外一位也可以获得由梦想家准备的精美小礼物，好不好？
我只能说今天的中场游戏非常的累。
哇，好，我都流汗了。
好险我没有参加要玩这个游戏。恭喜。
好。
那我们的参加奖也有安慰奖。
好，那我们就看一下前方的摄影师一起合照。靠近一点，好了吗 ？OK 吗？好，来。
Hello， 大家好，我们是 Formosa Sexy， 我是1号浅浅，我是5号的 Ariel。这次呢，我们跟全球前10大的轮胎国际品牌马吉斯一起与梦想家合作龙年集气行大运主题周。那现场有许多的小摊位，欢迎大家来现场跟我们一起玩游戏拿小礼，等你们哟。
1秒来到商品部，首先我们要介绍我们最新的产品——歌德棒球外套，在哪？噔噔，
好帅哦！
帅不帅？穿上去秒变饶舌歌手。
连棒球员穿的都会很帅的棒球外套。
没错，这是我们首先的第一个新商品，来挂回去。再来，还有来，跟着我一起走。第二个就是我们出的新年新球衣，红色的，
好喜气哦！
没错，漂亮。来，再来，还有没了吗？还有，来再来，哇，龙年
新大运，
龙年发！看一下侧边这个小巧思
哦，大
发财，过年打麻将，穿这件就对了，
可以直接
大赢一波。
这是背面
哦，正面是这样哦，然后背面是刚刚那个。哦，好 ，OK， 来，以为没了吗？压轴，最重要的来到
登场，来到我们这个看起来就很华丽，好想扑进去的一个。
这个地方怎么这么香啊？香到一个我真的受不了哎！女孩应援毛巾，记得要来我们梦想家的这种商品部买 我们的毛巾。以上就是我们最新的产品，最重要的是，
我们所有的商品满888就会送你小礼物哦，赶快来买吧！
最重要的是，明天还有赛后女孩签名会，
大家记得来找我们签名哦，名额有限哦，记得来参加！耶！祝大家
新年快乐，好运隆中来，拜拜，
拜拜。
请我们的2位梦想家人也要来到我们的场中间做准备了。
好，我们2位幸运的梦想家人们准备好了吗？
一人一球的机会。
一人一球。
先问一下，平常有没有打过高尔夫球？没有，是不是？再问你，平常打过高尔夫球？
完全没有。
我觉得这应该是台总的阴谋，应该是他的阴谋。好，直接赶紧一人一球的机会，把它推过去。
好，来了，有没有看到那个很小很小的洞？就是那个洞，来了，球准备好了。
来，
梦想直推，等一下，同学站反这边。
好。
哦，左撇子，左撇子，好来，左撇子，左撇子这样子，来
2、1
，Go，
起飞！
来喽，10万到底有没有？掉出去了。哦，
很直，
这个球
好，好，
有一点点，有一点点距离，
来，请就位置。来，最后的25秒，准备好。
准备好了吗？
给你一点，加油。
稍微调整一下，
调整一下，给你10秒，好，3、2、1，起飞
Coming up at the 5 p.m. slot, the Steelers are in Heping Gymnasium to play the Braves. I think this is the first time we've seen it in the Plus League, where we have a little putt-putt on the court. Well, that first attempt was even better despite the gentleman holding the putter backwards. This is some new style I'm not caught up with. The lefty had a better try at it, but I guess maybe because he's lefty, he had to hold it backwards. So where we left off, the Dreamers are up 48 to the Kings 44 on the ball game. As to start the second half, both teams more or less go into a starting lineup with Randall Walco in place of Kenny Chen. Over the top passes, Li Weiting is in the corner. Trying to drive on Aji, a little kick to Mitchell. Around underneath the Sushi, misses it off the front rim. And when we get to it, points in the paint. offensively for both teams is also a big split in their wins versus losses. Achi and McCullough, they got to switch. A nice pump fake. An easy one off the backboard for Chris McCullough. As Joseph Flynn in and out with that deep shot. So in their victories, the Dreamers, as McCullough from the elbow this time, a big bounce and a big rebound from Kenny Manigault. The Dreamers, as Manigault is fouled at the rim. McCullough and the Dreamers thought he was vertical. It might not have been straight on. Yeah, there's a little bit of contact on the elbow. So the Dreamers offensively in their victories score almost 45 points per game in the paint, only 35, 36 in their losses. As Manigault, no good with that first free throw. Meanwhile, the Kings are much closer split-wise defensively, 40 to 43.6 wins versus losses, but offensively, 47 points in the paint to only 39 for the second biggest split, as empty calories there as Manigault misses 2 free throws. Uguay now, he'll work into the mid-range as Gilbeck beating Mitchell for the board, and a lot of footwork will still result in a miss. Joseph Flynn fouled by the Dreamers surrounding him. That'll make it 2 for the Dreamers on the quarter. Kings swinging around, but are kind of overlapped there on the left side. Now the Kings switch a couple times and they leave Achi open. He'll drill the three-pointer. That's Ling Junji's first deep make of the game. Quickly the other way, Sushishin with an easy right-handed push shot. Achi has only attempted 2 three-pointers so far in the contest. This time it's a whistle against the Kings. Getting a look, this is a classic double ball screen. And in that, the defense needs to communicate 2 times, involving 3 players. So not only do you need a call switch, you might need to call it twice. This time a single ball screen. And now Kenny Manigault once again taking charge on these rebounds. On the other side, Brandon Gilbeck will push it up ahead to Achi with pace and space. Randall Walco unable to hit. Kind of caught myself tongue-tied there. The waiting, thought about it, but passes off to Kenny. A one-handed runner. Walco with the lane. Can't get the left-hander to fall. So it's been tough going defensively as there's a offensive foul. Maybe an offhand clear out or something on legal screen, as producers are suggesting. Indeed, it was Tony Mitchell who, there you see, kind of knocked McCullough down there instead of just holding firm, holding position. McCullough will try the deep shot and a flush. That'll get the Dreamers lead back up to 10. Dangerous, almost out of bounds for Manigault in the left side. Go probing for space, firing it out to Sushi. Can't get the answer. Kings scrambling on defense as McCullough hit one. Can't make it two as Walker will poke it out of bounds. But good aggressiveness there. Christian Anigwe in for Tony Mitchell. Those two gentlemen both played in the Kings game against the SK Knights. James push pass to Liu Ting, a quick lefty flip layup underneath the arms of Brandon Gilbeck. There's some good skills, some individual work. Haven't seen that from Liu Ting shot-wise as Big Sushi gets a block on Brandon Gilbeck from the free throw area. And now James will show off the runner. Though closing the gap with a couple of makes for the Kings. That was zone defensive look. Haji will get Liu Ting trying to stick with. A lot of action gone by. Dreamers up by 6 as we head to our first commercial timeout of the second half.
Copycat 的时间啦，跟着马吉斯的马吉熊，还有佑尼手一起拜年啦！好，被拍到的梦想家人们，来跟我们的马吉熊拜年哦！这位球迷朋友，来跟我们的马吉熊拜个好年 ！Happy Chinese New Year！ 哦，被我们导播抓到幸运的梦想家人们。
Come back tomorrow for the Pilots' first trip to Changhua since the winner-take-all playoff game. That was my first ever playoff series as a commentator. And who would have thought it went to 5 games the way the two teams ended their respective seasons. Dreamers, despite being the lower seed, had a favorable outlook on the series against the Pilots, who only had one import. And Jordan Chapman, really a shooting guard. They did have Quincy Davis at the time, and that helped the Pilots get back in the series as Davis missed a lot of the games leading up to that series in the regular season. But they pushed it to 5 games, and on this basket close to me, Sijingao airballed the critical buzzer beater for the series to end. On the other side, it was Randall Walco who provided the dagger for the Dreamers at that time. Kind of a matchup rotating zone for the Kings. And McCullough double team in the middle, leaving Marble open for a deep one as a looked like an over-the-shoulder flip pass from McCullough gets the Dreamers another chance. Spinning into some trouble. It's Joseph Lin who might be called for the foul as Marble took a hit to the noggin somewhere in the process. Another look at the strip down low, and it looked like the follow through by PLEAGUE is what got marbled right around the forehead. He's trying to shake it off at the free throw line. Needs a little bit more rotation. Devin Marble goes 1 for 2 at that trip. So far has 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Deep pass to PLEAGUE, trying to beat 2 Dreamers defenders, unable to do so. Now Marble taking it right down the middle, had that one blocked. Looks like Big Sushi might get himself a hot pot lid. Doesn't play a ton, and dribble looks suspect there, but finds a teammate as the Dreamers try to get into what they want. It's McCullough, iced on James Su, losing it behind the back, ball getting away, and it's a turnover on the kick ball. So not exactly a steal, but I think if you're the Kings coaching staff, you gotta tick that box for Su Shen. And indeed, at least there was some kind of kick in there. Perhaps the referees wanted the towel boy to dry up the hardwood. Now Sushi going right at McCullough. Shot fake and unable to finish. Good verticality by Brisk. Probably a good communication by the Dreamers as McCullough wasn't blocked there. Choosing to rotate it around as Marble feeling it. Going the other way, Kenny Manigault backing him down. A quick baseline spin move and an easy make from Kenny Manigault. That brings him up to 15 points, his first score of the second half. Now McCullough on the back pass, can't get it to fall. Second opportunity for the Dreamers created by Zobowitz, and they really need that effort play as have not found that much success since the break, and there's a foul trying to go right between 2 Kings. As frustrated as Sushi is, would have not been easy. There you see Manigault just good fundamentals, using that baseline leverage he was given, and ooh. No love lost. There you see Su Shen is pushing with his offhand, swinging wildly with his blocking hand. 3 personal fouls for him. Not on the same play, that is. McCullough at the line as Kings bring in a new front court between Tank and Mitchell. Meanwhile, the Dreamers will respond by bringing Gilbeck back in. Backdoor for Kenny Manigault, just hanging on to it. As Shaoli will wildly put it on target. Mitchell picking him up, but ball doesn't get on the rim as Devin Marble will come away with it. Malco putting his head down, the foul, and missed layup, but free throw opportunity for Randy. And a look at Walco just putting his head straight down. Sometimes, quite often, Walco is a good enough three-point shooter that's quite often defenders will have to overcommit or will have to hesitate to break back. And so that straight line drive has been important for him. I imagine in a year or two, we might see more of a mid-range game develop. On Artery, 17 points. Has been positive for the Dreamers. Manigault to Shaoli. Took the whole second quarter off. But the Kings need a little bit more from their backup wing players as Manigault hops through the double team. Good to just put it on target. There's a whistle, and it sounds like Kenny Manigault was a little too aggressive with that screen defense. And that'll send the Dreamers to the free throw line, as that second one might warrant a second look. Number 88, Tobo Chen will step up to the line. A product out of the famous Songsan High School. Also went to Taiwan Sida. Both of those schools produced a lot of pro ball players. Headed the other way, Kings down by 10. Tony Mitchell face up. Turns into a ball screen with Manigault. 2 seconds left, it's Tank to Kenny, flipping it up, and they don't get it off in time. It seems like the Kings want to talk it over with about 2.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Kind of put a little bit off their rocker, and one thing that's starting to play out is without Venti as a backup point guard, they are going through some of their struggles. We've seen previously, the first time they played each other, Joseph Lid was shouldered with most of the burden on the offensive creation side. And so far in the third quarter, it's Kenny Manigault who's so far only gone 1 for 6 from 2 and missed those two free throws, excuse me. So far in the third quarter, the Kings have only had 8 points, and 4 of those came on the Susishin. Scores from close. That was the runner after the short corner make. He has the putbacks from close. He's got 10 rebounds, but not exactly efficient shooting overall on the game. The last time the Kings were playing the Dreamers down here, they already concluded what was a season-long 7-game winning streak, and the Dreamers took over with their 10-game winning streak. But in this case, the script is a little bit flipped as Marble spins his way to a free throw line jumper. Looks like we might get a delay of game warning here. A lot of people trying to help out blocking out Gilbeck. So let's see what the Kings have out of the timeout. Joe guarded by Marble. Kenny guarded by Walco. Switch and recover as Tank to Mitchell from the left corner. He'll give it a shot. On the season, as Marble tries from deep and from downtown, Devin Marble strokes it. So far in the season, Mitchell 4 for 9 from deep, but again, only 9 attempts. How about Tank? He's got an open look and bounces it. Lead now ballooning up to 15 as Marble flips it to Gilbeck, and a hard foul by Tank. Not a good enough transition stop. It'll look at just a simple ball screen. And so far in the season, Marble only 3 for 14 coming into today. So giving him that made sense as you see the thorough foul by Tank. His third personal. Now Gilbeck at the line. Leaves it way short. Will be increasing his lead in the Plus League in terms of free throw attempts in total. Coming into today, 17 more than second place Jeremy Lin. So of course, is taking some time off. But on the follow-up, how about a lay-in and an and one for Brandon Gilbeck? That ball took a big bounce. So in terms of free throw, not so great. It looks like he did put his foot over the line after the ball made contact. So somewhere a missed assignment by the Kings. There you see Manigault went to the middle of the painted area. Well, I guess in this arena, not painted area. In the 3-second defensive block. Or I guess offensive block. This is not the NBA. So a third attempt has not made the adjustment as Gilbeck almost got another one. Will at least get a jump ball out of it. Finally a jump ball is called as Tony Mitchell gets on top. And again, the Kings are not doing a good job blocking out the free throw shooter. Kenny Manigault is trying to say that his outside perimeter teammates need to come in. As you see, Venti at least put a left hand on him, but backed out of there quickly as you see Tank crashing into Gilbeck a little bit. This one will be a baseline out of bounds. Nothing really much that Coach Marchand and the King staff can correct here on this lack of effort. Marble trying to put on the dribble moves, getting inside to Gilbeck. He's caught short and caught short again as there's a whistle. It's going to be on Kenny Manigault. Not much a reaction from the Kings bench on this play. Get another look as Marble looked pretty intense on getting it to Gilbeck the whole time. And this time it's going to be Ling Li-Run on the top of the block and a Manigault from the outside. 2 shots. And I think the form is getting worse and worse. So far in the third quarter, the Kings have only been 0 for 2, but the Dreamers are really stacking up these free throws. Gilbeck on the afternoon, only 1 for 5 as Xiaoli front blocks him. And the Kings almost turn it over. They do turn it over on the rebound. Doug, feet set, but wide apart as this time Kenny Manigault running it forward. Taking matters in his own hands, dropping it in. Finally, the Kings a little bit of an answer, though it feels a lot more like a whimper than a roar. See the big crossover getting run into by Gilbeck. And great body control to put the shot on the rim. So let's see if the Kings can fare a little bit better. As Manigault drops it in. But too aggressive Xiaoli. I think he was trying to chase Devin Marble. So changing things up. Marble at the line. 10 points, make it 11 now. Two bigs next to Gilbeck as the free throw is up and short as Dobleton knocks it ahead to Xiaoli. Not teammates anymore as Manigault quick fire three. Trying to take advantage of the 2-for-1. Marble bumped, but good job to gain his footing again. Walker will try and gets it off the glass. And utilizing a foul, Marble will stop the action. Right now, the Dreamers with the advantage in the second chances, with the advantage at the free throw lines, playing with their heads relatively more cool. Tough take from Kenny Manigault. Doug will just dribble it out. So a big margin for the Dreamers here at home. We'll head to the fourth and final frame, 72-55.
Formosa sexy, thank you girls.
Bitch, I'm stylish. Black top, big t-shirt, Billy. Watch on my wrist, but I want that diamond. Niggas talk crazy when I pull up in sight. Mile high, run that shit back, bitch, I'm stylish. Glock talk, big t-shirt, Billy Eilish. Watch on my wrist, but I want that diamond. Niggas talk crazy when I pull up in sight. Hey,
Plus League 球迷 ，Oh my basketball 是我本人在 iVer 学英文吧，教你篮球的英文术语。欢迎大家点资讯栏的链接一起学习。So 3 quarters of basketball. So far, we've had 3 very different narratives on the game. In the third quarter, really a differentiating quarter. The Dreamers don't shoot the ball all that well. Only 7 for 21, which is only 33% from the field. That's not very good. And only 7 for 15 at the free throw line. That's not very good, but that's 7 points to the Kings, only 1 point at the line. And then the Kings, 2 assists, 4 turnover. That's a negative ratio, which you wouldn't expect with their point guard, Hong Sen, in the game. But the Dreamers really do a good job forcing the Kings to the shooters they don't want, or shooters that are not hot, like Tank there in the corner. They're only 5 for 20 from the field. And again, allowing a lot of Dreamers second chance opportunities. Marble try to give him go as Walko pump fakes to a miss as Mitchell spoils the out of bounds off of Gilbeck's hands, but now they say out of bounds. The Dreamers can challenge this as, wait, they could if it was out of bounds, but they did use their out of bounds challenge in the first half, though I do remember I thought that was in favor for the Kings. Well, the referees can elect to look at it on their own. It definitely looked like Mitchell was coming crashing through, and the ball bounced out of the direction he came from, or I guess opposite the direction he came from. So it have to be quite a thing for it to be off of Brandon Gilbeck's hands. Definitely looks like it goes through, but also the point of who's causing it to go that way. And just based on that, seems like one of those classic 2 hands on, but who forces it in the millisecond of who that has the last touch of the basketball. Dreamers did challenge an out of bounds successfully in the start of the basketball game. My note says 11:02 left on the first quarter clock. And so they are successful with their challenge here. In the second half, the Kings have only called a timeout with 2:26 in the third quarter. Let's see what they do out of the baseline, out of bounds. Lu Guanyang's in. He'll give it a shot, and from deep, Lu Guanyang's on the scoreboard. Venti flipping up to Mitchell as Brandon Gilbeck did a pretty good job reading that play and matching up to the point of the catch, but the referees say a foul. Get another look. He was kind of pushing there, hands on the wrist. And they will say free throws out of the effort. Gilbeck with 3 personal fouls. Not in that much of foul trouble. Rattling out the free throw was Mitchell. In the last game against the Braves, 3 Dreamers were in foul trouble, as this time the Kings knock it back to themselves as Venti drains a 3. Well, that's a good start to the fourth quarter for the team in white. Joseph Lin getting some extended rest, so if the Kings can get some opportunities, as there's an illegal 3 seconds offensively. Anigue's in for Mitchell. Inigue over the head, but forcing Manacle to go back for it. Flipping back. No whistle as Christian ran into a Dreamer's wall there. Chris McCullough's ready to come in for the Dreamers. Walko finding some space, running into a wall of Tank, and still gets it to go. Randall Walko, have yourself a afternoon. 22 points already. Venti through past the Tank. A big right-handed hook layup. Look out for the ricochet as Walko and Marble on the same side. Transition foul. Walko thought he got hit pretty hard. Sure looks hard, but it's 173 centimeter Venti. Probably feel just the same kind of force with Tank, though he did lower the shoulder there. It's a little something. We had a little bit break here as the Kings want to talk it over.
又到了我们第4节的 Copycat 的时间啦，被我们导播老师找到了球迷朋友们，跟我们鲁鲁米还有子子一起来拜年，一起来过个好年，好不好？来，被我们导播 take 到的球迷朋友们，不要害羞，不要害羞，来跟我们鲁鲁米跟子子一起拜年，好不好？一起来大吉大利，龙年行大运一下，龙年大发财啦！当然，想要发财的话，也可以到我们梦想商店买件发财 T。Happy Chinese New Year！ 跟我们鲁鲁米，跟我们子子一起来拜年喽！
5,000 and 3,000 NT Plus League gift bags now available at the league store, pleagueofficial.com/shop. The Dreamers built up a big lead in the 3rd quarter and have, at least through a couple minutes here in the 4th, have maintained. We're here on top of Bagua-san, or I guess at least more or less on the side of, but you know, on top sounds better. Chris McCullough finally back into the action. Immediately matching up against Sushi. Marble into the space, sidestep for a miss. Effort play by Zobotan will at least force the Kings to take it out of the sidelines. Over to JJ, to Sushi in the corner, probably out of shot, but was looking to pass. JJ barely puts it on the rim. Effort play for the Kings. They've so far only scored 14 points in the 2nd half in their Wednesday game against the SK Knights, who vowed revenge after losing to the Kings in Xingzhuang. As there's a hard foul. McCullough against Inigue, who McCullough offered his hand, but Inigue was not having any of it. Gonna look at, could have been on the trip, and that right arm was kind of looking for some trouble there. Let's see how Christian does at the line to assess if he's good or not. The free throw drops it through. McCullough's third personal foul. PLEAGUE had 5 points and 10 rebounds against the Knights. Pretty smart switching defense there between Manny Galt and Sushi. Walker provides a screen as McCullough stopped at the rim by PLEAGUE. Jump pass as Venti will fire it away. Now Ryan screen, but McCullough picked up his dribble. Wimbledon had that one picked as he's got numbers if they can push it ahead. Walko into some trouble. Now the three. Kind of hurried offense by the Dreamers. There was an opening somewhere else. The other way, JJ, can he punish? He does. Strong bit of run from the Kings as now Coach Perlman will elect to call timeout to slow things down. The physicality so far has kind of flipped on these two timeouts. The lead right now sitting at 14 for the Dreamers. Can't relax yet. A lot of ball game, and we've seen big turnarounds so far on the season. They need to be secure with the ball and maybe get a few more touches across the 5 players on the squad on the floor. Because they very intentionally try to get McCullough open, but similarly, the Kings have been keying in on him defensively. The Dreamers' last victory came all the way back on January 6th against the Kings here in Changhua. That was a 17-point victory. So they're going to bring Gilbeck and Aji in together. More full court pressure as on the King side. Joseph Lin is checked in for them. A turnover, it looks like, on the sideline. Got the impression that Kenny Manigault is very physical on that defensive possession. Block shot by Gilbeck there. I believe that might be the first of the game. Pretty easy work as the Dreamers also covered up some of these passing lanes. JJ was looking for Christian, even though there was really no pass to be had there. McCullough clutching, missing. Gilbeck, a second chance, block from behind. No, a whistle. I might want to see that one again. I think they called something on the body. Nope, just on 17. And you see that left hand get in there. No, Gilbeck at the line. Perhaps not the worst. Makes the first, making him only a 1 for 6 on the game. I'd say good effort, but again, not perfect with the defense. And a return to the mean. Kenny will try a deep one as the tip drill for the Kings results in a Dreamers kick ball. I would say they're rather lucky there. Quick inbounds to Inigue. Handoff with Manigault as he floats it up for a miss. Quickly down the other way. Dreamers have to settle into their half-court offense so far in the game. Maybe out of necessity, but Kenny Manigault now 6 for 23. Gambling on the pass. Aji will be free for 3. And with that, Coach Marchand calling another timeout. Certainly seems like a personnel change kind of timeout as JJ had that turnover and now gambles on that steal. You're going to gamble on a three-point shooter like Aji, you better get the basketball. Well, funny enough, the last time the new Taipei Kings lost in the Plus League competition was actually that very same game against the Dreamers. So a rare sight for Inigue and Mitchell out together as 4 local perimeter players for the Kings and a holding foul on the outside. all smiles right now. Third team foul on the Dreamers. Now another foul. It's on Kenny Chen again. So no more for the Dreamers, lest they want to send the Kings to the free throw line. Get another look at him putting in that right hand in and the left hand also holding. Yeah, that is not clean defense. Now he switched on to Christian as they zone up in a alley-oop to JJ, who misses it. And he stumbles out of bounds. Probably the worst JJ quarter we've seen in his Plus League career. A pretty decent feed by Joseph Lin with the right hand. He didn't get quite enough on it. So under 6 minutes to go, both squads with kind of their best unit out there. Aji back to Kenny. His three is up and through. Kenny Chen on the scoreboard for the first time. Mitchell, a little step back, missing. Anigwe at least got his hands on the offensive rebound. I think he will win it. Kenny Chen did go 1 for 2 from deep in each of the last 3 games. There was a stretch of 5 straight games where he didn't make a single three, though he only took 6 attempts in the middle of their win streak. Number 2, Supe Kai is in. He got a start previously against the Dreamers. Joe puts it up, kind of forced to with the left hand. McCullough on Joe, 2 dribbles, spinning, getting the ball to fall on a ricochet. Still with 4 minutes left, you can't think too far ahead, but if I'm a Dreamers fan, kind of wondering if Julian Boyd will have a turnaround game if he's tapped for tomorrow's game against the Pilots. Number 2, Supe Kai is out of Taipei University, playing well as Ling Junji gets a little up and under going. That brings his point total up to 20. And again, another one of the games in this 4th season where Aji gets to 20 points on very few 3-point makes. Joe from the corner has not a lot of off-ball movement. Li Wei-Ting from the mid-range, a nice swish. He's got 10 points. So I believe that surpasses his career high again in the start. So as my colleague Nancy would say, breaking personal records. Deep shot now, in and out. Gilbeck chasing after it. Mitchell got a hand on it as Doug forcing it up. Good pace, but the Wei-Ting in a little bit of trouble, forcing it up. And it looks like, at least on the King side, Tank and Sun Junan coming in, and the Dreamers will play keep away. A whistle out on the floor. Looks like a offensive foul. Well, the Kings are not done yet on this side of The Lunar New Year's, there you see just a straight two-handed push from McCullough. Just going to be a turnover. I'm sure you're probably going to get a verbal warning from the referees. Waiting, floating to the right, and the jumper is good yet again. The youngster from Tainan is feeling some confidence now. Hayden stripped out of bounds and will stay with the Dreamers. The Kings with Christian out there, a true rookie, even as an import. And the Dreamers have McCullough for their squad. 2 seconds left. Hayden will barely get off a shot, if that even will count. Christian saved Tank from that embarrassing finish as Chen Junan, easy stuff by Zoboten, who probably took a shot there. Kind of a labored breath as he joins his squad up court. So as mentioned, the Kings still have a Tuesday night game against the Steelers back at home. Meanwhile, the Dreamers' last game before the break is tomorrow against the Pilots. Jianhao aims one up and put a little bit too much behind that shot. I don't even know what happened there with that shenanigans on the turnover. But not the Kings' best effort. A player called timeout perhaps to get more subs in and out. This will move the Kings to 12-6. Meanwhile, the Dreamers will advance to 11-6. Also looking at the Kings bench, they kind of have the 5 they want out there. The only guy who's not played so far in the game is number 49, kind of a veteran journeyman, Zai Zhenghao. Meanwhile, for the Dreamers, this should be the rest of their bench minus Chen Zhenjie, still trying to work back from injury. OG member of the Dreamers, Wu Songwei, in the bottom left corner. Number 7, former pilot Manimal's in. And their rookie, Ding Guanhao. As just like that, Wu Songwei will finally get this crowd going a little bit. Everybody fell asleep despite the team having a good lead on the game. And Su Peikai with an answer, and at least a little bit of positivity for both teams before we wrap this one up, at least with the clock still on. All right, now the margin at 21. Flip pass as a Manimal out to Jerry to Hayden with a big three-point attempt. And the shot clock off. That'll be your result with the Dreamers taking the victory here, ending their 5-game losing streak and concluding the Kings' 4-game plus league winning streak. I'm looking over to the left, and Venti now took off his left shoe, which I thought his right foot was the one that was injured. He does have a smile on his face. He'll head off already with an ice pack, I think, on the top of his foot. So this Lunar New Year's coming up is going to be very important for all the teams in the Plus League to rest up and perhaps start some recovery. Don't eat too well, boys, over the break. Stick around for the post-game coverage, as there you see the line score at the bottom. The Kings held to only 26 points in the second half. Meanwhile, the Dreamers have some things that they need to correct as well on their side. They perhaps play with a little bit more effort and urgency, but also had their periods of kind of malaise on the offensive side as well. So they put up the board in front of me. I can't really see who the post-game coverage and interview will be, but there's Randall Walko on the headset.
Hello.
Asked about his recovery.
You know, it was one of those where, you know, not only me personally, but it's been a rough January for our team. And, you know, I've been battling through some injuries the last 3 weeks. So to be able to come back out here and be the healthiest that I've been in a month or two, it definitely feels good. And it feels good to get the monkey off our back after, you know, losing 5 straight, losing some heartbreakers. So just happy to get back on the winning board.
Indeed, the Dreamers last 3 of those 5 games by single digits. And asked about the rebounding.
It's one of those where, you know, after the last few games that I did play, it was a little rough. And then being injured for the last 3 weeks, you know, I just needed to see one go in, and as a shooter, that's all you need to see. And, you know, my teammates kept doing a good job of finding me and getting me the ball. And then, you know, once my shot, you know, went away a little, I just was focused on impacting the other areas, such as rebounding and defense. And I'm just happy I was able to positively contribute.
Now asking about the challenge.
Okay. Oh, I knew that. Xinyi and Kuala. Thank you. Have a happy Chinese New Year.
Randall Walko is half Taiwanese on his heritage. But we got to work on the tones a little bit more now, Randy. We'll go to final break before wrapping things up from Zhanghua. one thing we have yet to announce on the English broadcast, that is, the East Asia Super League Final Four location is announced to be in Cebu, Philippines. The new Taipei Kings will head over there March 8th for the semifinal and March 10th, whether in the consolation or the championship game. Back on the game at hand, the Dreamers able to take this one 91-70, and funny enough, their losing streak began and the Kings' winning streak actually began with the last time they matched up with each other. And there you see the combined team statistics where the Dreamers dominated the boards, shot for a better percentage, and kind of had more horses in the stable, so to speak. Coming up in just 6 minutes or so, the Steelers against the Braves from Heping Gymnasium. And for tomorrow, the Pilots will play the Dreamers here in Changhua at the 2:30 slot, and in the Sunday evening game, it's the Hsinchu Topless Lioneers against the Braves. So on behalf of Xiaohu and Eddie Tanyao, our broadcasting partners in the league office, I've been Ryan Chen. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.